Welcome to the WarWheelz School of Overwatch activities. Overwatch is a very fun game, regardless of what you think. It is a very, very, very fun game. It is not boring. It is dynamic. You can play heroes in a different way. You can play characters in any way you want. Overwatch is cool like that. It's not just a first-person shooter. It is the closest thing you can get to playing a sport like hockey, football, etc. That's why they haven't changed the formula in, I don't know, a million years, outside of putting a number 2 in front of something that should have never got a number 2. It should have been a number 1. But that is a whole different video. Today, we are discussing everybody's favorite cutie, the peace sign, lovely, beautiful girl, D.Va. You can find her on many different sites. I'm not going to tell you what those sites are, but you can find her on many, many different sites, modeling and doing different things in order to generate extra virtual income. She probably needs some V-Bucks or something like that. And for the viewers that don't know what V-Bucks are, go play some Fortnite, you'll figure it out. But anywho, today we are reviewing gameplay of D.Va. Now, I'd like to tell you, I played a quick play game for 11 minutes. I have played D.Va for I don't know how many hours. I'll put it in the video, but I am not good with D.Va. I am very good with D.Va, okay? And I've got a lot of confidence for myself in that regard. She's cute. She was the very first character I ever started with because I like the fact that she was like playing Mech Warrior. But yeah, I'll just give you some tips and tricks that I have. And this is not for ranked gameplay. This is for efficient, quick play gameplay. And you can apply it to your comp games if you want. But comp is boring. Don't let anyone tell you. Comp is extremely boring. Make sure you get out of the mic channels and all of that. Otherwise, you're going to start really not enjoying this game. Pretty much every Overwatch player doesn't enjoy this game, and they'll say, oh, you actually enjoy Overwatch too? Well, I hate it. Who enjoys Overwatch too? Well, that's because you're not playing properly. You're not playing with fun in mind. So, I'm reviewing some D.Va gameplay today. First off, obviously, either leave the voice chat or just start being random and see if it picks up. That's what I do. Sometimes my randomness can get me banned, and I didn't even say anything wrong. It's just the ban system is AI generated. Ooh, AI, right? So it is what it is. Now, D.Va is most referred to as what we call a dive tank. And diving is very important when you're using D.Va, but it is also very important to constantly wave at your team so she says the cute, hey! And then make sure if you have Listera Firm, Firm, I don't remember their name. If you have that one, make sure you dance. And make sure you sing with me and my girlies. You got to do that one. That is necessary. Everybody has to do that. Once you go out the door here, you need to wave again. Waving is important when you play D.Va. Now, you can use your boost to gain a little bit of speed. A lot of the time, you want to use your boost to be aggressive. Be aggressive. You want to shoot that turret. Shoot the turret. I call that the cast. A cast can be anywhere between an Alari lamp, turret, a Baptiste Immort field, a Mei ice block. You want to shoot that just to make sure you PO the Mei player. That way that you stay pressured on that Mei player and she gets angry at you. And make sure right after she does that, you dive over that Mei wall like some kind of rocket girl. Anywho, the cast needs to go first. I call it the cast because I'm a D&D nerd. That's right. Ye old D&D nerd. But in D&D, it is a very important thing to look at the magic caster on the table and take out that magic caster enemy. Any type of magic caster that there is on the board needs to not be able to cast their magic. You'd be surprised to know how much damage Torb's turret can do if it just sits there picking off your backline. Almost had it, but I am very close to dying here. There's no healers with me. I know they're not here with me. I know I've got limited space. I get out of my mech. You always want to look at the ground after you get out of your mech, out of sadness. Pure sadness, just you're too cute to die. You shouldn't be dying, but you have to. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made as tanks, but not always. And here we see, you know, diving back out, looking for my team. Always know that when you're trying to regroup with your team, look at spawn for a very, very long time first before you go boost and actually be observant on the map and look for the rest of your team. Now here we gang up on, there goes the Sigma, right? We're ganging up on this rest of this team. Again, I want to kill that cast as much as I can. I'm like, I don't know if I can soak that much. Here I go, diving this Torb. Torb uses his extra health to kind of thing. I'm trying to keep him confused. As you can see here, I'm getting res. It's not going to happen. Always make a dumb face. You always want to make a dumb face after you die. It's important. Again, you're too cute to die. When you activate your ult, you want to stand in that ult because it's not going to hurt you or the other team. And that will give you a sort of invincibility to then call your mech. Calling your mech, you're not always going to call it on top of somebody, as fun as that's going to be. You can if you'd like to wait and possibly die. But the other thing to do is to just call it in a safe zone. And we'll go over that in a little bit. Always wave just in case there's somebody at the window. It's important to always wave. You know that's a key point of gameplay. We've went over that. Wave, wave, wave. That's all you got to do because she cutely says, hey, and then says hi in Korean. That's adorable. Now, when Moira is popping her ult, kick her away from the rest of the team. Kick her away from the rest of the team so that her ult is ineffective. As you can see there, I dove the Mercy as well. It's important. D.Va is all about spreading the court. In sports, you spread the court. As a tank, you spread the court. That is the main objective. Here, I'm only going after that Sigma because he's so low. I wouldn't go after him primarily. And again, wave, wave, wave. We see the Reaper waves back. We see Genji says thanks. And spam your voice lines as well because it's very kawaii and very uwu for you to do that. You have to play based on the lore. It's very important. Keep waving. This Ana's not waving, so I'm just going to continue to wave. If she's not going to do anything, I'm just going to wave. Keep waving. She's not waving back. She's still not waving back. I'm a little angry. She ends up passing away and dying. That's okay. But now we're diving this. There goes Genji going crazy. Again, spreading the court. Spread the court. Make sure that the enemy team does not have space to work. I'm getting smoked here. I realized I was getting smoked. Sometimes it's important to sacrifice yourself. That's another thing I want to go over. So many people in this video game get angry when they die. As a tank, you are going to die. That is your job to die sometimes. Spreading the court, allowing your team to make plays. It is your job. You're like the goalie of the sports. You're a goalie, but you're a little more active than that. You're a goalie with some offensive capability. Another thing I want to go over. When you have your gun, charge people. Do not fear. Charge them. Look at this Genji backing me up. I almost have my mech completely back. I'm at 80, 65, 67. And always emote over their corpse. That way they get angry. It's a good idea to do that. It's all in good fun, but at the same time, you want to get in their head. When you have your pistol out, it is important, again, to just pressure. Now I go to the safe zone and then mech in. Sometimes it's important to do safe zone and mech in. Here I'm trying to generate space. It doesn't work. I'm thinking maybe more of them are going to come out of there. That was a complete and total fail on my ult. That is also going to happen. I don't care who says anything. Sometimes when you ult, it is pointless. Nothing happens. Not even space is generated. Not even anything. Here I am apologizing quickly. I'm apologizing quite quickly and making typos, which actually really helps gameplay. It makes your team think you're unintelligent when actually you're just not doing well. Again, spreading the court. As you can see, I'm pressuring the Mercy. People will say pressure the healers first. That is not always the truth. Don't always pressure the healers first. Sometimes they're not pocketing people. Sometimes people are running away from battle. As you can see here, I want to end this Mercy's ult. She's really far away from her team, and my Genji's diving in. I'm going to look for that Mercy, and it's not working. So, at that point, now here I go again. Just diving to push them back. And I'm playing against a Sigma, so when he does his little thing, I don't want to feed him anything. Yep. Still diving, spreading the core. I've got 2 healers with me. I'm going to go. But again, this comes back to the sacrifice thing. I'm sacrificing right now. Look how far they are pushed back. And look at me in this Genji. I'm going to die here. I know I'm going to die here. and I didn't. Sometimes, magically, you don't die. And sometimes, when you play your character properly, you won't die because the team will know what you're doing. But expect it as a tank. Expect it, don't force it. Don't be like a Reinhardt who charges into battle thinking that they're going to gloriously save the world. I mean, that's your whole point. But sometimes it's important. Now that Lucio ults, I push in. Reaper ults, it's pretty effective actually in pushing them back. One thing you're going to see here too is I'm going to ult right by the doorway in order to make the enemy team feel better. See, I'm just waving at spawn. I want them to know that I'm there. I want them to know that I care about them as neighbors and friends. So I ult near the door just to make it so that they understand that they're very adored and cared for. And as you can see, I'm diving this Moira and waving at her just to let her know, hey, I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm your best friend. Sometimes this is going to cost you. Like you see here, boom, I'm going to die. Probably. I don't remember what happens here, but I drop all the way back. There's nobody with me. Egg House, my favorite place to go. It's the greatest place to go. As you can see, Genji's trying to get reservations. It's not necessarily working out, but we're diving back. I'll dive back to check on reservations. As you can see here, I turn right back around to Egg House. I'm looking for reservations. I'm not scared about not having reservations. That's all I'm saying. I say hello to the Egg House logo. Nobody's here. Unfortunately, can't get reservations. Must be a Sunday. So we go back out into the battlefield because couldn't get reservation. Out of that, I just want to say, sometimes it's good to delay when you come back to your team. Not always, but delaying when you come back to your team allows your team to regroup without you just feeding and dying. Everyone in this video game likes to use the term feeding. It means you constantly die and you don't regroup with your team. What they don't realize is sometimes you're not feeding, sometimes you're trying to spread the enemy team out, and your DPS is not allowing you to spread the enemy team out. Maybe not capitalizing on some damage, or maybe not other things. As you can see, again, waving, very important, especially to the Reaper. He's a sad person. He needs to be waved at almost consistently and constantly, otherwise he'll cry himself to sleep. You, as D.Va, can also suck those Moira orbs. As you can see here, I'm going to attempt to dive Moira and make sure she can't hurt my enemy team. I want her to hurt me instead, and then make sure to pop your ult closest to the door so that you're spreading the enemy team out. We do that, we end it, make sure you wave and you're happy about it, and make sure you get upset when you don't get play the game because you're so adorable, and you deserve every single play of the game that ever existed. Thank you for tuning into today's tips and tricks on D.Va. You can apply these to your game. I will see you next time with the next character. We're going down the line. We're making this a series. Make sure you subscribe. I am very close to 100. Hook me up. I'm a good dude. Also follow me on Twitch and YouTube at www.warwheelz.com. We'll see you in the next one. And remember, stay chaotic and love on Overwatch. See ya!